is Dr. Amy Braun, and my pronouns are she, her, hers. And I'm the global communications lead for a luxury German car company. I got my PhD in German language and literature, so that is what really opened the door for me to be able to use my degree in a useful way. So my role has three main functions: global communications, educational outreach, and also global partnerships. So your role will really vary on the company that you're in, as well as what your team needs. So for my particular role with a global communications team for cybersecurity, I'm in charge of creating visuals, audio content, also written content. That's my area of expertise, and being able to disseminate that information in a variety of different ways. So that might be creating newsletters. It might be creating content for workshops that I facilitate and also develop the content for it. It also may mean developing presentation content for the board of management or the operations committee or the supervisory committee. So, depending on what your area of expertise is, you'll tend to gravitate towards, which role is and which role and tasks are actually, best meeting your skill set. My biggest misconception was that corporate was this big, scary monster where, it was cold and it was cutthroat. Most of those conceptions that I had from shows like Mad Men. And once I actually transitioned into corporate, I realized that that's not necessarily the case. Maybe it is at some companies, but it certainly isn't at mine. What I found is that I'm working with one of the most diverse teams that I have ever worked with. I'm able to use my language skills on a regular basis, but I'm also able to work with people from all across the world. So my intercultural competencies really come in and play a role on a day-to-day basis, helping to understand, okay, I think that there seems to be some sort of misalignment here, and being able to process for myself, is this a language barrier issue? Is this a cultural barrier issue? Or is this a content issue? So that's really where the skills of a PhD student can really come in and be effective in a workplace. I did a variety of different strategies to look for my particular job that I landed. Most of it was informational interviews. I can't tell you how many 20 to 30-minute conversations I had with folks. Basically just sending them an email and saying, hey, I got your information from so-and-so, either somebody at the Career Center or maybe even a family friend or a friend of a friend, and saying, hey, I got your information. It sounded like you're doing something that's really cool. I'm interested in this particular career path. Do you happen to have 15, 20 minutes to just tell me what you do and how you came into that role? And more often than not, people like talking about that. They like talking about their journey, especially if they like their job. So I found it to be incredibly helpful to have a series of those conversations. I can't tell you how many of them I had before I actually landed a job. But it was so helpful for me to be able to A, see what's out there, B, to build my network by asking for information, and then C, ultimately landing a job that I never would have thought of in a million years, but ended up being a really, really good fit.